These words are very important. These words are very serious. They do not use words in terms.
Прийшли окупанти до нас в Україну, форма новенька, воєнні машини, та трохи поплавився їх інвентар. Байрактар.
Ukraine is a battlefield.
Estimates are 50,000 Ukrainians will be dead. A humanitarian crisis, a refugee crisis in Europe.
Ukraine today is a sovereign, more free, more strong country than in 2014.
Well, that's got nothing to do with the realities. You can feel however you want. I mean, I could sit here and say that I feel like a tomato plant, but that doesn't mean that I'm actually in those things. So your self-perception, you can have whatever self-perception you want, but you can't expect me to take part of it.
Yeah. So why didn't I leave? And do what? Play the refugee game? You high? Take a look what's going on in the refugee border crossing.
If you feel you need to leave, if you feel it's the right thing to do, then do it.
Over 2 million people.
Refugee crisis in Europe since World War II.
As we speak, there are 520,000 refugees from Ukraine in neighboring countries.
Humanitarian crisis now unfolding right here. More than 1 million refugees.
Well, the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine is nearing historic levels.
It's already Europe's worst refugee crisis since the Second World War.
Now 2.3 million Ukrainian refugees.
The refugee system is essentially not set up for this, that it will collapse. It's an improvised system that can work for maybe 2 weeks.
I mean, let's really take a moment to understand the significance of what we're talking about.
Ukrainian refugees, Poland taking in 1.5 million, France say they're expecting...
Over 2 million people crossed illegally last year.
Close to 4 million refugees are estimated to have fled Ukraine since the war began late last month.
The solution to this humanitarian tragedy is not humanitarian.
Immense concern at the United Nations about the humanitarian situation.
One danger for another.
A humanitarian catastrophe.
That is the humanitarian situation.
Doesn't sound like me at all. I heard
to get real political, you know, the Federal Reserve is a corrupt institution. Hey, I went out and said it.
Talking about how he'd dig his boots into
These
Arkansas
people control our dollars, brother, and we didn't vote for them. Think about it.
Hello. Take a look at what's going on at the border crossing.
Evacuate. I love it. I just got here.
A group of migrants grows by the hour. Tonight, they number nearly 15.
We have moved approximately 3,300 individuals.
For many, their only nourishment, the food and water handouts. That can't come fast enough.
This is a crisis.
In response, DHS promising a massive movement of migrants until the migrant situation is under control.
Meanwhile, we're going to show you some exclusive pictures.
You can see that there is already
a complex humanitarian issue that's, of course, made even more difficult by the pandemic.
But what's crazy about this is...
So many Americans remain in Ukraine.
About 1,000 Ukrainians have entered the U.S. through Mexico every day.
This program will be fast, it will be streamlined, and will ensure the United States honors its commitment to the people of Ukraine and need not go through our southern border.
Батько наш Бандера, Україна мати, ми за Україну будем воювати.
Those who have means, connections, those who have fewer resources, they're going to struggle.
We just passed the threshold of 1 million people.
I know we all say, and I will say over and over again.
We don't know how long this war will last, but as we approach the 2-month mark, here's what we do know.
The humanitarian situation in Ukraine, the fighting...
Well, all morning long, we've been talking to people about the war in Ukraine.
The war in Ukraine.
Would you want to go fight the Russians?
To the war right now, we'll tell you what happened over the weekend now. Here is
the crisis unfolds overseas, striking a nerve.
Civil disobedience is a time-honored tradition in our country.
We turn our attention now once again to the Biden family syndicate.
Please receive a big hug from all of us here at BCP Media Studios with
staff unable to keep up with processing, state lawmakers are calling on Washington for help.
The bottom line is that we have been clear and consistent for quite some time.
Secure the border, provide aid, and process every single person. They number nearly 15,000, tripling in size since Wednesday.
Close to 4 million refugees are estimated to have fled Ukraine since the war began late last month.
Then what do? With my backpack, my 13-year-old, and my wife, go through paperwork hell? What, for some sort of illusion of safety? You people are really, really, really insulated these days. You've really forgotten what life is. And there's a lot of opportunities for you to figure it out. I mean, everything in life is trying to kill you. Everything. I mean, if you think about it, it's just a war. It's just more obvious. That's all this is.
So. More like cute out. I've been.
It's just life trying to kill you in a more obvious way. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, for everyone interested in us not being here, well, you're in luck. It's time to get out of here. We're gonna play the refugee game. So it looks like we're gonna do exactly that. It'll be interesting. There's that fire. It is time to leave. So yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. It's going to be an interesting experience. Drop everything you have, leave everything behind with just what's on your back. It's exciting. So, till next time.